Claude can now be tagged inside a Slack thread, but the tag is the least important part. If your team still forwards emails, copies details into spreadsheets, and chases updates across chat, you know an AI reply is not the same as finished work. This announcement exposes the four-part test every business agent must pass: context, tool access, approval, and a verifiable result. Most demos stop at a polished answer. By the end, you will know how to spot the agents that can actually close a task. I am Lazar, and I build these operational systems daily for clients. Let's start with what Claude actually launched. Anthropic's launch video is only 2 minutes and 25 seconds long, and it has reached 77,542,318 views. The feature is simple to describe: tag Claude in a Slack thread, give it the conversation context, and let it work with connected company tools. Anthropic says the feature can continue work across multiple days, and it is currently described as beta for Claude team and enterprise plans. That sounds like a Slack feature. It is not really. Slack is just the front door. The useful part is whether the agent can run a completion loop. A completion loop starts when an operational message arrives and ends only when the person who asked can verify that the work is done. Not when the model produces a plausible paragraph. Not when it creates a draft that someone must manually move into 3 other tools. For small teams, this distinction matters because 2 to 4 hours per day can disappear into inbox triage, invoice handling, lead follow-up, status checks, and reporting. The real cost is not writing each response. It is the handoff between systems. Gmail has the request. The CRM has the customer history. Accounting has the invoice status. Chat has the person who needs an answer. None of those tools talk properly, so a human becomes the integration layer. Hiring another person to handle those handoffs is slow and expensive. Generic SaaS often makes you reshape your process around its limitations. And plenty of teams have tried ChatGPT only to discover it did not actually connect to their inbox, CRM, billing tool, or internal approval process. Here is exactly how I evaluate an agent before I call it useful. First, does it receive the right context? A tag message is not enough if the decision depends on the previous customer conversation, an account record, a document attachment, or an earlier approval. The system needs a defined way to gather relevant context without grabbing every piece of company data. Second, can it use the tools required to complete the task? If an agent can summarize an invoice email but cannot create a draft invoice, update the customer record, or notify the right person, it is still creating another manual handoff. A draft may be helpful, but it is not an operational result. Third, does it know when to stop and request approval? This is where reliable automation separates itself from a chatbot with access. An agent should not send money, alter customer terms, delete records, or make a sensitive commitment simply because it can call a tool. It should prepare the action, show what it intends to do, and ask the right human to approve it. See examples of what we ship for clients at bizflow.ai.io. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you catch the next AI automation breakdown, where we test the parts product demos leave out. And if you have a workflow your team still handles manually, book a free 30-minute discovery call at bizflow.ai.io. And we will map what should be automated.